All right, so back to the beginning. I'm Peggy Symington. We are a CRTLE. This is a Faculty Voices series, and it's low-lift, high-impact AI tools for teaching. We're joined by two facilitators, Dr. Bonnie Laster and Dr. Shelley Wigley, and they'll each introduce themselves and tell you more as we share. And I'll say it again. It's worth repeating that all AI teaching ideas at UT Arlington should align with our approved UTA teaching guidelines. And we're going to throw this link in the chat for you, Generative AI Guidelines for Instruction, Artificial Intelligence. It's a quick read, and you can also use it as you develop your course policy and decide what level of AI you want to use. I believe our presenters today are not restricting AI in the classroom. And so they'll talk about that. And so you just have to decide for yourselves what works for you and your discipline. But this is an important read, and it has been vetted by UTA Legal, and it's been approved by our internal committees at UTA. So without further ado, now that we're all good with technology.
Thank you, Peggy. I'm Dr. Shelley Wigley. I teach in the Department of Communication. I teach public relations. And I want to preface by saying that I am by no means an AI expert or even a technology expert, but I realized that this was going to be important in the classroom, and especially for our students to know how to navigate. And also I saw some opportunities to enhance their learning. So I'm going to talk about what I've done. Again, I am not an expert, but I wanted to share what I have done so far, and maybe it'll spur some ideas for how you can do this as well to help your students. Is it not? Uh-oh, I thought it was. Oh. Okay. So first of all, I utilized ChatGPT for my what I incorporated in my classroom. Specifically, what is a custom ChatGPT? Because that's what I used. It's a chatbot. GPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and it's a specialized knowledge assistant, and it must be prompted by a human. It's more reactive than proactive. From my understanding, an agent, and I know that the terms are used interchangeably, but my understanding is the agent is something that can be set up to where it goes out and finds things for you, whether that's new research, new publications, and also can be integrated into your classroom, maybe to answer student questions and so forth. But I was interested in how to use this in an experiential way. I'm all about experiential learning in the classroom and hands-on learning. So I was interested in what I could do. It does require a plus subscription for the instructor. So FYI, I do know that Microsoft Copilot offers something similar, and I believe they're going to throw in the chat information about that. If you would rather use that, or your students would rather use that, I encourage you to do that. I did this a while back, and I was just more familiar with ChatGPT, and so that's why I decided to try it. So basically, I had an idea, and I wanted to see if I could pull it off, so to speak. So why use a custom ChatGPT? In my opinion, it's useful in experiential learning because they can simulate people, environments, decision-making situations that maybe students might otherwise not get to experience. Maybe some privacy issues or concerns, or they don't have access to the type of people they need to be talking with or learning from. So it also provides scaffolding for higher stakes assignments, which is exactly how I used it last fall. And it provides a type of experiential learning opportunities that would be unavailable to students otherwise. So you can use it either way. For example, I think Bonnie and I talked about this early on, but maybe if you are teaching like counseling, you can't really go and have people come in and reveal their deepest, darkest secrets, but maybe your students, you can program, and I use that word loosely, program a custom ChatGPT to emulate that, an actual patient, and then have your student negotiate with them or counsel them, whatever it may be. So I just wanted to cover some design patterns for an experiential ChatGPT. It can be used across disciplines. Most effective custom bots follow one of these models: a persona simulation, a patient, a client, an investor, a parent, a role play partner, so a negotiator, a colleague, an interviewer, a scenario engine, so you give them something to where things are changing. I think it's really important for our students to understand how to be flexible and make decisions on the spot these days. I am going to use this for an upcoming assignment. I teach a crisis communication class, and so developing a custom chat GPT where they will get information about a crisis that's just happened, but they won't have all the information at once, and they have to decide step by step how they're going to handle things. So that would be an example of a scenario engine, and then as an evaluator or coach, which gives structured feedback, and then an environment simulator that can recreate the workplace or some type of field context. So again, across disciplines, problem solving, again, I'm focused on experiential learning. So these first two here are more about the experiential learning: problem solving, role play, simulations. And then this writing support and exam prep also applies with that. I know that agents can do that as well. And so I'm focusing on more of the problem solving, role play, and simulations. So before I show you my custom chat GPT, I wanted to emphasize a few things that I've learned. We're always learning. We always have things come up. So I wanted to share these with you all. So some things you want to consider, and I will show you this here in a minute. You want to disable the web search function, in my opinion, because what you do is you upload the materials that you covered in class. They're important for the material you are wanting the students to learn. If you let it go out onto the web, it's going to probably hallucinate. My experience is when you turn that function off, that it does not do that. It relies on what you have uploaded. Of course, you have to be very specific with it as well. Upload the documents or information you want the bot to rely on. Be very specific, give very detailed instructions to the bot. You obviously want to test it yourself before you have students try it out, and it's an actual assignment for you, because you may think you've been detailed enough, but usually not. And then once created, you want to share the link with students, and that's simply all you have to do is share the link with them. You don't see what they do, and I'll get to that in a little bit, how that function is. You cannot see who's accessed that link or what they did in there, but I incorporated into my assignment how you can see and grade what they did. One thing I did learn last semester is that if students use a free version of ChatGPT, they may have to do the assignment over 2 days, depending on what you're requiring the assignment. Like, for example, what I'm going to show you here in a little bit, in my crisis communication classes, I teach students spokesperson training. So in order to get them to the level where they feel comfortable going into our TV studio to actually ask each other questions and be on camera, I developed this Alex Reyes, which I will show you in a minute. And I had him ask them, I think, 15 questions. And so that was a little too much for the free version in one scenario. So they had to do it over 2 days. So I'm going to make sure they know that from now on. Just something to consider. You want to make sure that whatever you're assigning, that the free version of ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot can handle what you're asking them to do. So just kind of a heads up with that. Okay, so this is my reporter, Alex Reyes, custom ChatGPT. I'm going to show you how this looks, but over here you can see there's a little icon that I had ChatGPT create for me. It gives information about him, a veteran City Beat reporter. And then when you click on the custom ChatGPT, the first thing I want to show you, so it appears over here under GPTs. And then if you want to see like the back end, you would go up here and do edit GPT. Why am I not seeing that? Normally, I'm not sure why this is happening. So when I go to edit, it will show the back end. I'm not sure why it's not doing that. Maybe I have to, okay, I have to configure. Again, I know enough to be dangerous. So I put the description here, hard-charging city reporter, asking tough questions, and then for the instructions, you are Alex Reyes, who you are. Please ask for this example I'm going to do or show you all. Please ask only 3 substantive questions. You must wait for the spokesperson to respond after each question. So you see how you have to be very, very specific. Only rely on these types of questions. The more specific you can be, the better. And then at the bottom here, you see after the interview ends, provide a clean Q&A transcript, export, then add the reminder. Be sure to copy, save, and turn in your transcript to your instructor. Automatically include the current date and time labeled feedback generated at the end. So I think that's pretty important too if you're actually going to have them upload the task. So, because again, you cannot see what they did. This is just, and you can use it for a very low stakes assignment. If you just think they'll do it just for fun and practice, that's great. But I actually it was still a low stakes assignment because it wasn't worth a whole lot of points, but I did have points associated with it. And so we had a scenario here that we talked about last fall in which there was a woman who was substituting for the South Lake Carroll School District that got caught up in a sting. She was arrested and accused of sex trafficking, very related to Epstein. I mean, it's not, but that's what comes to mind. And so that is what they were answering questions about. So I provided all the information they needed to the reporter, but then also the student. So these are the articles it's going to focus on. This is the chapter it's going to focus on, and doing the same thing with Alex Reyes. And so you see down here, capabilities, I checked off web search. Canvas, they don't need to do image generation for what I'm asking them to do. Maybe they do for what you want. And I'm not sure what code interpreter and data analytics means, but so that's how it's configured on the back end. And then if I were to add something, I would just hit update over here. So like last night, I went in and said, just ask 3 questions rather than 15. And so I can just give you an example of what it looks like here. He says he's Alex Reyes, where he works. And then it asks a question. I could go back and forth with this, but I'm not sure if we have time. We're good? Okay, I'm gonna have to put the mic down too. I'm just making stuff up here and not answering like I should.
Flip on mic, that'd be easier. Yeah, you can help.
And you can still kind of hear.
Okay.
I can turn it this way.
Yeah, that's good.
This is not how I would answer in the real world, but just for time's sake. And then you see there, it gives the transcripts, and normally there's a little icon down here that says copy. If you've used ChatGPT, I'm not sure, but they can also just do it this way, where they copy it all and then cut and paste it into a Word document is what I recommend, and then they uploaded it to me. Again, I'm not sure why, because when I did this, when I played around last night, you see there it has when the feedback was generated. Be sure to copy, save, and turn in your transcript to your instructor. But normally there's also like those little squares that you can copy from chat. I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I'm logged in on the back end. But so there are definitely ways to do that. I wanted to show you all that. So any questions? Yes.
I was wondering, when you were creating this assignment, was there anything that you had to change or be especially wary of considering UTA's guidelines?
Can you repeat it one more time?
Was just wondering if there was anything that had to be changed or anything that you had to be wary of based on conforming with the UTA AI guidelines?
I don't think so. I could offer students if they wanted to opt in and instead use Copilot, which is what's approved. I could have done that for them. I did not have any requests for that, but I am open to do that because they do have something similar. I believe, yeah, it's in the chat on how to create it with Copilot, something similar. I will say, here's a caveat too, something I learned. So I had one student, and I'm sure we all have students that don't like AI. She was concerned about privacy issues. And she's like, I don't want to give my name. I don't want to give anything to AI. And I suggested, go create a bogus name, a bogus email, and just use it strictly for this assignment only. Cut and paste it and you're good, because that way it doesn't have any details or information about you. So that's one way I got around that. I know that students are concerned about some privacy issues. And one thing I wanted to mention too is, it's okay, is that you all have probably seen this. I'll mention two things. So there does seem to be some AI fatigue among students, as well as a lot of students that are concerned about the environment and how this is impacting the environment. So I would say be very strategic. I would not recommend doing this just to be cool, teacher, or fun, but if you can think of a way to really scaffold or to help them do something that they wouldn't be able to do otherwise, then I think it makes complete sense. So I hope that's helpful too. Yes, Beth.
Shelley, how long did it take to create the Alex role as persona?
I mean, not that long. I can, let's see. Yes, there was a question about how long did it take me to create Alex. Not that long at all. You just, and I didn't show this in the beginning, but I will. You go to Explore GPTs, and then you just hit create, and then that's where you answer questions. What do you want to create? And then you hit that configure. So, I mean, it just depends on how long it's going to take you to tweak it, because as I said, specific, you want to constantly be testing it out and making sure you are specific enough with your instructions. But any other questions before I go back? Where?
Yeah.
There?
Yeah, right there.
Okay. I have just a couple more things. Oh, so also there are, of course, options of how to use something like this. So it can be outside class, homework assignments. That's how I used it, because again, I wanted them to feel more comfortable when they came in for their big assignment into our TV studio and had to answer questions. I will say I was a little nervous because I did this with undergrads in the fall, and I have never done the TV studio situation with undergrads. And I was very nervous that they were going to be upset. And my teaching evaluations, no one was upset about the experience. They were still nervous a little bit, but I really think doing this with the reporter at first, experientially through AI, helped them feel more prepared. One other caveat I just thought of is that you have to tell it to be, like in my instance, I think it was being too nice. You know how ChatGPT and AI want you to come back. And so I'm just about to launch it in my classes again in the next week or so, but I told it, do not be nice, be hard hitting, like, you know, to get, so that they get what the real experience is like. And it also gave some feedback. And I'm like, that's not your job as a reporter. So again, things that I've learned through the process. So you can use it as homework. It can be in-class activities if that works for you. And then it can be practice versus assessment. So those are different ways. So I want to ask now, where could a custom ChatGPT or a Copilot agent add value for students in your course and their learning process in this kind of experiential way?
We have a microphone for it here too. We can pass it around.
Just because online people.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, I'm Haley Carson. I am a social work faculty member, and I'm teaching 3308. So that's like our research methods course for undergrads. And I think using like a custom ChatGPT to kind of help them understand maybe how to do a research proposal, because they have to write one in class. But then also maybe trying to find a way to maybe have them simulate like their experiments or like their proposals that they're actually supposed to be trying to navigate to make. I think something like this would be really cool to try and implement.
So would you make it like the ChatGPT or the bot would be like a proposal reviewer? Is that what you were thinking?
I think so. Like having it be a because they're undergrads, they've never written a research proposal before. So trying to explain to them that a research proposal is different than just a regular essay. I think like having it be a reviewer would probably be really good.
Right. I was thinking more grants when you were talking, but yeah, I know you're just doing research proposal, but like for grants when, I don't know what class well, I do know one class that teaches grant writing, but so it could be someone who reviews a grant for a specific foundation or whatever. I mean, there's lots of cool things that can be done. Anyone else have ideas? From different disciplines, either online or?
Hello guys, I'm Liana. I teach in the Chinese in the modern language. So for me, I also use the ChatGPT before, like to assessment with the students, and I put some like some like a paragraph or a conversation on it, and they can recognize or they can try to practice with them. But you also have give me some idea to create a maybe AI guide to track with them, and let them can practice more.
Awesome, I love that. Yeah, I just wanted people to get thinking about things. Is there anything in the chat or?
Do you see anything that?
Yeah, there's a option as a tutor.
Oh, great. Yes. Or even dealing with a difficult parent. Okay, yes, Peggy.
Thank you. We have a blog post on Pedagogy Next describing how if you have LinkedIn Learning and your students have LinkedIn Learning, they have a new feature called AI Role Play. So you go into LinkedIn. Have you used it?
I never use the AI. I try to do that.
But it's role play. So you enter a prompt, like a scenario where, like if you're let's say you're a pre-service K-12 teacher and you're learning how to talk to a parent, and it will talk to you. The AI tool will talk to you, and the student teacher could practice having a difficult conversation or whatever, or you could practice having a conversation with a student. And so AI role play, or a student preparing for a job interview. So go and if you go to our Pedagogy Next blog, just go into Google and type Pedagogy Next. And then when you're in there, it's one of our recent posts, or just type LinkedIn role play in the search window and it will pop up. And we'll send it to everyone who registered. But I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's not really a chat. It's kind of a chat bot.
Kind of. I didn't try it out. I looked at it. You can't upload your own resources, though, I don't think, Peggy. Do you know?
You can upload your own prompt. And,
your own prompt. Okay.
So you can write a really customized prompt. Like imagine a scenario where I'm talking to a parent whose child is, failing math, and I have to explain. And then they'll tell you, and it will give you feedback on it too. It gives you a little report at the end.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it. Thank you.
There's some comments online about using it for difficult conversations.
Yes.
Really good.
Yes.
And then also potentially working with vulnerable populations.
Exactly.
And you
yes.
don't have access to. Exactly. Going in the field, but you don't have access to that. So you simulate a vulnerable population.
Exactly. I love those ideas. Okay, before I hand it over, I just have one other thing I wanted to share that
I'm
go
sorry. Can I
ahead.
interrupt real fast? One other thing that I want to add, this is Bonnie Laster, and I know I'm getting ready to hop up there, but one thing I want to share with everyone, I don't know why this mic is being all weird. Oh, okay. Hopefully I'm not hurting everyone's ears. Learn from my mistakes. So I created a custom agent for my counseling class. Maybe if I go over here, it won't interrupt as much. And I honestly thought, well, if I build it, they will come. You know, if I have this awesome chat just for this class, and I upload it with content, with my syllabus, with all of the stuff that they'll need to know, they'll use it. And they didn't. They actually didn't use it. And it may be because of the AI fatigue that Shelley was alluding to. But I really would encourage everyone, if you're looking into using one, have it have a purpose, like you all have been saying in the chat and that we've been talking about here in the room, whether it's role play or making a reporter or something like that. Have a purpose other than just here's exactly where you can come for content and course info, because they weren't using it for that. So I think they wanted to be a little more active.
Thank you. Is it back on? Okay, now it is. Okay. Just very quickly, I know there are other faculty on campus using Google Notebook. I implemented this last fall as well. Students seem to really like it. It can summarize information into various formats. The good thing is it does not train models on whatever you upload. It only uses the sources that you upload. You can upload up to 50 sources to create a personalized knowledge base for generating study guides, outlines, podcasts, videos, etc. And the students can interact with content via the podcast. They can speak, to them. The podcast will recognize and have a conversation with them. And there's also a chat function. I have not required that or anything. And let me show you quickly what my notebook looks like. But students have really seemed to, let's see. It just went to the general notebook. Is it here? I know I had it pulled up.
Just click on the Try Notebook LM. It does that sometimes.
Oh, okay, here it is. And you see a lot of stuff that I have here, but I will click on, let's do image repair theory. So, and I know students, not all of them like to read. So I give them the chapter, but then I also I upload the chapter and I ask them to produce a video or a podcast. And I mean, the visuals are kind of antiquated, but I will say I've occasionally played these in class and they pay attention more than when I'm standing there lecturing the whole time. So that's how I've utilized Google Notebook. You can also do some mind maps. There's podcast. The actual videos usually run about 6 to 7 minutes, and the podcasts are usually around 18 minutes or so. But again, students learn differently. Some people learn by hearing, some by visuals, others by reading. So that way they have options. And I think that's all I have. I want to make sure that Bonnie has enough time, so I will just turn it over to her. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me jump over here. All right, and let me see if I can, yes, I can see the chat. Fantastic. Okay, my friends, how many of y'all are a little bit technologically challenged? Is it just me? Just me? Okay, so there's a few of us in here. Anyone at home? Can anyone at home relate to this? So I was on the search for some really quick and easy ways that I could incorporate visuals, concept maps, and so forth into my classes, but I had to press the easy button. So with that, let's copy paste. Well, it's not letting me do that either. I will type it in. Hang tight. let me introduce you to Napkin AI. Have any of y'all ever heard of Napkin? It is my absolute favorite because you can upload your notes and I mean, literally, you upload notes, it turns it into all this beautiful stuff. And you have your choice of different types of graphics. If you want more of a flow chart, if you want more, more color, less color, it also is helpful for accessibility. You can certainly do alt text and so forth, but you can also decide how vibrant you want the colors. So if you want more contrast, less contrast. And with this, you literally just upload your notes and it creates the graphics for you. You then can download directly into PowerPoint, PDF, however you'd like to save it. And I thought I was logged in and I am not. Speaking of being I wonder if it'll log me in automatically. Well, it did not. Okay, that's okay because there we go. So I copied, this is a napkin that I created, and it is a lot more fluid than this. I couldn't fit all of it, all of the entire document onto a slide. So I uploaded just some, here's psychotherapy, the different types. Napkin generated these images for me, which are actually pretty spot on. So if you're familiar with like psychodynamic psychotherapy, there's a heavy emphasis in the unconscious mind. And I thought, that's actually a pretty good representation. Humanistic with our flower here, cognitive. This is kind of small, but at the top you can see how this is the graphic that I chose from the ones that they offered me. So uncover unconscious conflict for emotional healing. Then on the behavioral force, I uploaded something very similar to this paragraph here and clicked generate image. And so I chose this as the behavior therapy cycle. And again, you can really alter. They give you a choice of like 30 different diagrams that you can choose from. This is what they gave me for the humanistic force. And again, I thought that was pretty impressive that AI came up with this for humanistic psychotherapy, because self-actualization is the goal in humanistic psychotherapy. And they actually gave me, this whole, emerging from the cocoon into a butterfly, which is really, really a good representation of self-actualization. Again, I didn't prompt this. This is just one of the options they gave me. Here's a cognitive behavioral therapy cycle. Challenging negative thoughts, developing healthier thinking, improving emotional regulation. As you can see here, this one I decided to make a little more colorful. They gave me the option of more pastel colors, primary colors, etc. And before I go to CRTLE, let me just jump back over here. A couple other things on Napkin, you can upload like a Word document or something like that. You can paste your text. Oh, and there is a free version. Everything that I'm showing you today, certainly you can purchase for, extra creation and so forth. But everything that I've done, I have done just through the free version. So you can swipe out the icons, you can decorate as you want, and so forth. So that is Napkin. This is CRTLE. Are you guys familiar with CRTLE? Okay, now you may notice I'm a visual person. And one thing we know from psychology, the whole idea of learning styles that idea has been kind of debunked. However, we still have our preferences. And when we're talking about complex material, sometimes it can be really easy for students to get kind of muddied in their brain, particularly if we're speaking auditorily and they're like, wait a minute, what, in this instance, memory types, what kind of memory was that? Where was iconic memory? Was that long-term memory, etc.? So things like concept maps can help us break out concepts and sub-concepts. And so through CRTLE, and I think we have the links available for y'all. Again, this is a free version. You just create your mind map or concept map as you see fit. So it'll give you a little box, you type whatever you want to type, then it'll give you options to branch. You can add more branches, fewer branches, and my students have really appreciated having things broken out in a visual manner. One thing that we know about our students, God love them, they don't love reading at this point. So anything, like jumping back over here to napkin, I mean, pretty stuff that's colorful and shiny, that's going to get their attention. And, CRTLE can help us get there as well. Yes. Uh-huh.
With the colors, are they accessibility rated?
Can you repeat that, Bonnie, when you say that?
Yes. Okay. Now I can't get. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Yes, and thank you, because I meant to mention that and I forgot. Yes, you can change the colors, you can change contrast and so forth, and that is a really good point, because not everyone is going to be able to utilize a concept map or visuals to their best ability. So there's always the opportunity to add alt text and so forth. And we can also, what's that? Or an outline, yes, outlines as well. Okay, so one final thing that I wanted to show you guys, coming back over here. So I have napkin, CRTLE it. Let's talk briefly about Gamma. So Gamma is my new favorite thing. It is also free. Well, there's a free version, and you can do all of these things through Gamma. So you can generate slides with an AI prompt. You can, do all these other things as well. But I created this in like 5 minutes. So here is the prompt that I gave Gamma. I said, okay, I want to create slides about user-friendly AI applications for university faculty. And I said, please make the visuals kind of academic, university looking, wasn't really technical in what I asked for. And literally they created this for me. I gave them nothing. I gave the system nothing besides the title. So they came up with, now of course, we all know, is AI wrong sometimes? Of course. So I am not suggesting that we all utilize this and immediately use it as is, because all of the stuff that Gamma generated, not all of it is valid. And, definitely we need to be cognizant of reviewing the material it gives us. But this is what they generated for me. Why AI matters for faculty today. AI for content creation and course design, gave the examples here, or the example here, faculty can create tailored learning outcomes, etc. AI-powered presentation and visual aid generators. And again, I did not feed the system this information. This is what Gamma came up with for me. And I was pretty impressed. Now, I will say, so I downloaded it, and then I like converted it to PowerPoint because that's typically what I use in the classroom. And when I converted it to PowerPoint, some of the, like I had to change the font and, you know, I had to make it a little more accessible in a lot of regards, but generally speaking, it did a really nice job. Then I also decided to play around. Here's another one that I made. Building and maintaining a strong working alliance between counselor and clients. And again, this is the prompt I gave the AI. This is what I want to talk about. Create visuals that show a calm, serene, you know, therapeutic environment. And this is what they came up with. So core characteristics, functions and effects. Now, with this, of course, there is a tendency for all AI to hallucinate, you know, and again, so in all of these, it's particularly important to make sure that the content is correct, is accurate, you know, and something that you're wanting to convey in your classrooms. But I will say it has saved me a lot of time. Okay, and that is all I have. So what questions do y'all have about Gamma or Napkin or Coggle?
Bonnie, the question about for Napkin and Coggle, you got to upload. How safe and protected is that information?
The information that you upload?
Yeah.
So, you know, I've only used it for, you know, very general academic stuff. And it's largely, so is the question more for like academic integrity and so forth? Intellectual property, yes, yes. You know, I did log in. So even if you use the free version, you do, like I logged in with my Gmail. And so supposedly it is just associated with my Gmail. Now, how safe that is, I don't know. So I don't know that I would upload something, you know, that is beyond what students could get like from the textbook, what you're covering in class. One other thing that does also remind me, on the Coggles, you can, there are only, Coggle again is the concept maps. There are only so many that you can make private with the free version. So if you don't mind making some of your your concept maps public for others to use, you can create as many as you want, but you do have that option to make some of those private. Other questions? Yes.
Does the Gamma app presentations and even the Coggle, like what do you do for, I think for Coggle I saw that you were exporting it as like a PDF or a PNG.
Mhm.
What does the export look like for Gamma?
So the export, so the question for y'all at home, you know, how do we export the images? So yes, on Coggle, you can download it as a PDF. You can download it as a PowerPoint, a JPEG. With the Napkin, I believe it is the same way. You have those options for exporting. As far as the Gamma goes, let me see. I don't know exactly where it is, but it does give you that option.
Yeah, try those dots. Export. Yeah. What's my options here?
Okay,
Oh,
so we have
cool.
PDF, PowerPoint, Google Slides. Yeah.
That's good. Thank you.
And then also publish to site. Let's see what happens. Okay, turn your Gamma into a website instantly. And that is the other thing, even though I used Gamma for my slides, if you, you can use it for other things. So you can do presentation, a general document if you want to create like a flyer or something, web page. Yeah, and I found that their graphics are really, really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other questions? for myself, Shelley. Oh, one other thing that I want to add on the custom chat GPT. One thing my students have been using it for, even though they didn't use it for class materials per se, they have been using other versions to practice for grad school interviews. And, so that is another, I know someone talked about like practicing like workplace interviews and stuff like that, but grad school answering, even questions about research, they could upload something that they created and ask me, poke holes in my proposal, what do I need to strengthen on my proposal and so forth. Yes.
And just to kind of on the same area, I wanted to make sure that everyone knew that there was a document. I generated it through ChatGPT, but you can go ask Copilot. But in the chat, there's a PDF that looks across disciplines at all the different ways that it could be used for experiential learning. So I want to make sure if you're having trouble thinking of how you could do that, there's a document in there. Or you can always ask Copilot, ChatGPT. They're always very helpful.
Email all the resources.
We will email all the resources. Yes. Okay.
Do you see anything that?
Any other questions?
Lots of
Yeah,
thank
just a lot of thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
A lot of
thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Okay.
so much.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Hey, y'all, we have plenty of food.
Take the survey. Take the survey.
We will take the survey.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Yay. Well done. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.